The Indiana Jones sidekick was forgotten by Hollywood, but won an Oscar.
My journey started on a boat. I spent a year in a refugee camp. Somehow I ended up here, on Hollywood's biggest stage. They say stories like this only happen in the movies.
That's what Huy Quan said in his acceptance speech. The occasion, receiving an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor.
I cannot believe it's happening to me. This is the American dream.
Quan has good reasons to be excited. He quit his budding Hollywood career in his 20s. The movie industry had no roles for Asian actors. But he hadn't planned on being an actor anyway. So how did all this happen? Huy Quan was born in Vietnam to Chinese parents. When he was 7, they decided to immigrate. The entire family, Quan has 8 siblings, spent a year in a Hong Kong refugee camp, then ended up in the US and settled in LA's Chinatown. When Quan was 12, he got the chance of a lifetime. Steven Spielberg was holding an open casting call. He needed a young Chinese boy to play a pickpocket. You know that character as Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. In fact, Quan didn't intend to audition. It was his little brother who applied. Quan was there to support him, but then the casting director suggested he should try out too.
I remember doing a really bad job because my English comprehension was very minimal at that time. The next day, we got a call from Spielberg's office. My mom thought it was a really fancy meeting and put me in this ridiculous 3-piece suit. Steven noticed how uncomfortable I was. He said, "Key, I would love for you to come back the next day, but wear something comfortable."
3 weeks later, Quan was on a plane to Sri Lanka for the shoot.
It was one of the happiest times of my life.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom was a huge hit. Quan still defends the movie against accusations of racism.
Spielberg was the first person to put an Asian face in a Hollywood blockbuster. Short Round is funny, he's courageous, he saves Indy's ass. That was a rarity then. For many years after that, we were back to square one.
In early 2023, Quan and Harrison Ford reunited at a Marvel presentation.
I hadn't seen him for 38 years. As I got closer, my heart started pounding, because I didn't know if he was going to recognize me. He looked at me and said, "Are you Short Round?" I was immediately transported back to when I was a little kid. I said, "Yes, Indy." He said, "Come here," and gave me a big hug.
Quan went on to star in The Goonies, but then he was forced to quit Hollywood. He got fed up with rejections and stereotypical Asian roles.
I remember not having one single audition for an entire year. I was 23 at that time. I was so lost. I just didn't see a future for myself as an actor.
So Quan enrolled in film school at the University of Southern California. He spent years working on the other end of the camera, but in 2018, he saw the rom-com Crazy Rich Asians. Quan realized that Asian actors had a chance once again.
One day I decided, if I don't do this, I will regret it.
So he hired a new agent. The first script he read was Everything Everywhere All at Once. The movie won 7 Oscars. Huy Quan is back in the saddle.